All right, Lions entering the final week of the preseason here, and I looked at the calendar this morning. It's crazy to see that we've been at this for a month, but it's all flown by. Nguyen, Lions beat reporter here, Tim Twentyman, and he's been covering the Lions for 18 seasons.
You're making me feel old here, Tina.
You're wise. You have so much knowledge, which is why we're talking with you here. Okay, but just tell me, this training camp, what feels different this time around as Dan Campbell's in his 6th season as the head coach here?
You know, I think Dan had the mantra going in, like, it's all business, right? Strictly business. We're going to take care of our business. And I've got that feeling throughout camp. No joint practices, right? It's been just all about them. And let's do our work. Obviously, coming off a disappointing season with all the expectations last year to finish 9-8, last in the NFC North after coming off back-to-back NFC North titles. And I just think they want to prove that that's not this team, that the 2024 version pre-playoffs is this team. And so it's been all about business, and I've gotten that I've gotten the sense it's been a little bit more physical in terms of some of the practices. And so I just think it's been a really good camp in terms of taking care of their own business and trying to right the wrong that was last year.
Yeah, just getting a sense, just being around the team these last few weeks and just talking to some of the guys and hearing some of them talk as well. They're extra motivated heading into the season, especially when you finish last in the NFC North.
Yeah.
I mean, that is not the expectations. Okay, so let's break down offense and defense, and let's start on the offense. First off, Drew Petzing going into his first year as the OC here. What are you expecting from Petzing and the kind of offense that he can run here, especially when you have so much talent on this offense?
That's the part about it that I think you pinch yourself if you're Drew Petzing when you got here and you're like, wait, I get Jahmyr Gibbs and Jamison Williams to take the top off the defense. Oh, and I got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's 100 catches, 1,500 yards, and 10 touchdowns every year, you know? And so I think the thing I've noticed about Drew's offense is very matchup based. You know, he's going to use a lot of pre-snap motion. He's going to move guys around, and he's always looking for that one-on-one matchup to his advantage.
Yeah.
And when you have an Amon-Ra St. Brown, when you have a Jahmyr Gibbs, when you have a Sam LaPorta, who we didn't mention off the top, and Jamison Williams, I think you can do a lot of those different stuff. I think we're going to see a lot of different personnel groupings. You're going to see a lot of pre-snap movement, a lot of that stuff, and it's all about getting Jahmyr against a linebacker. It's all about getting Saint against that nickel or that number 3 corner, right? And so that's what this offense is all about. And throughout, I think Drew's done a good job of kind of getting his guys in space in matchups that he likes, and I think we'll see a lot of that, especially to begin the season.
Yeah, we got the chance to talk with Drew Petzing just last week. A little fun fact, him and Ben Johnson, obviously very close there. He was in Ben's wedding as one of the groomsmen, but even when I talked to him, I was like, you could sense they're both football maniacs here. So to me, I'm like, it makes sense why they're best friends, but you overall look at this offense, I mean, this is an offense that can really keep opposing defenses on their toes. Dan Campbell has said consistently throughout camp, this wide receiver room is like the best he's had since he's been here. Who do you think, though, will get that final spot?
It's going to be really tough because you know who the top 4 are, right? Between J-Mo, Saint, Tesla, and Greg Dortch, who I think is going to be their number 1 punt returner when the season starts. Big contributions on special teams. And then who's that 5th? Do they keep 6? I mean, you got Tom Kennedy, a guy who's kind of done it, who this team trusts. I thought Tay Martin has been really good in the preseason. One thing you got to look with that last 1 or 2 spots, Tina, is special teams. And that's, you know, who's out when you look at this last preseason game. You know, who's out wide as the gunner. With which team, you know, how many guys are doing core special teams more than one unit. That's going to be really important when you talk about the back of the roster guys, especially at that wide receiver spot. You want them to make plays on offense, right? But there's only one football, and that's a pretty good group along the top. So if you're going to make this roster, it's got to be on special teams. That's what you have to watch for in the preseason with those last couple spots. But it's tough. There's a bunch of guys there that could have that spot, and it's a good thing to have depth, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Tough decisions is a good thing to have this time of year.
Yeah, no doubt about that. The Lions will have some tough decisions to make here. Sam LaPorta, obviously last week found out he was kind of dealing with a hip injury, saw him back at practice just yesterday. What are the expectations for him this season, especially in a Drew Petzing offense?
Well, did you see what Trey McBride did last year at Arizona? I think Sam LaPorta is probably pretty happy about that. Look, you're going to get personnel groupings like we talked about earlier. You're going to get some 12 personnel. You're going to get some 13 personnel. That's one running back, 2 tight ends or 3 tight ends. And if you're a tight end, you've got to love an offense that's like that. You're going to see the field, and look, you're going to get some matchups. And I think Sam LaPorta is a matchup weapon in this offense. And we've seen it all through camp. You've been out here. You've seen a lot of the plays that he's made too. What linebacker can run with him? there's not many. He's just so much bigger than a safety that he can body him and make those plays. And I expect personally to see more of the production we saw from Sam LaPorta his rookie year when he set a bunch of those records in this Drew Petzing offense than we did last year before the injury. He's looked good out here. He dealt with a little bit of a hip there, but he's been back, and I think he's going to be good to go. And so I expect Sam to have a monster season because you can't cover all these weapons, Steve. And so there's going to be one guy that you find there, and I think more often than not it might be Sam.
Yeah, I know we've been watching a lot of preseason games here. I'm like itching for the regular season games to happen because I want to see what this Drew Petzing offense is really going to look like. Let's talk about the offensive line because the offensive line is like the engine to the offense, and you got to have a good one. Obviously, right now, position battle at center between Juice and Seth, and I know Dan's mentioned too maybe Tate, if he moves from guard to center, he can play there too. But what is your level of concern there, especially after losing Cade Mays, because that was obviously huge? Yeah,
that was a huge injury because Cade was their number one, free agent acquisition. He was the only guy that got more than a one-year deal. He was going to be that young foundation piece in the center of the offensive line. Good news is he's probably going to be back. Probably late, early October. Somewhere kind of right in there. So, that's obviously good. And so now it's just about maintaining while he's out. I think the one thing you got to like about Juice is he's played in this league. He started in this league at center and at guard, so you've got some experience there. I think there's a comfort level with him if you're Dan Campbell and the coaching staff. Seth McLaughlin was a terrific college center. I think won the Remington Award for the top center. Had the Achilles injury, unfortunately, late in the season and was out. Spent last year on practice squad. Up and down, I would say, is his camp. But again, you're coming
especially
off
in the last game that we saw.
Yeah, you're coming off a major injury, right? And we always see it with guys like Aleem McNeil, right? You're not yourself until after a year after that injury. So I think he's going to continue to get better, but I'd be a little bit surprised if it's not Juice week one, just with the experience level that we've seen him now run pretty strictly with the first team unit here to end camp. And so I think that comfort level is getting there with Jared Goff. We saw some balls hit the ground. They've done some extra work on that. They got to clean out kind of a little bit of that kind of stuff. But, offensive line-wise, I like a lot of the other pieces. I think Tate Ratledge is going to be really good in his second season. You always see those players take that big jump year one to two. Penne going to cover, Jared's backside. You got to love that and the comfort there. The rookie's going to make some mistakes, Blake Miller at right tackle, but he's a number one pick for a reason, and they like him. So I think overall it's a better unit going into week one this year than it was last year. And you got to remember, this was still an offense that was top 5 in scoring, top 5 in overall offense, with an offensive line that I would consider maybe was average last year. And so you've got to stay healthy. Once you get Cade Mays back, I think you're going to be a better offensive line than last year. And if you're a Lions fan, you got to be pretty excited about that because this was a really good offense with an average offensive line last year, and I think they'll be better.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And I also, too, obviously the reshuffling that they did, Jared Goff sacked 38 times. Let's hope that number will certainly go down this year. You mentioned experience there. Let's talk about the backup quarterback, because Josh Dobbs, Luke Altmaier, it's youth versus experience. Dan Campbell said on Saturday how Altmaier, he thinks he's seen the field better, just needs to play faster, but with that comes reps and really just getting more experience. What's your feel on,
it's a tough one. I think this one might come down to the wire, and it really might be Saturday in Indy that kind of decides it. You've seen Altmaier take more of the reps here in practice, but I think there's a familiarity that Dobbs has in terms of he's been with Drew Petzing before.
Overall, 15 career starts in the NFL is what he brings too.
He's got some experience. I think you trust him to if he's got to step in for a game that he can manage that. He's got experience doing it. Altmaier, you love the confidence. I've loved some of the throws. That he doesn't. When you talk to him, he doesn't sound like an undrafted rookie. He's a confident young man, and that's what you want from that quarterback position, right? You got to have a guy that can get in there, command a huddle, get everyone on the same page, make the read, stand in there, take a hit, and deliver the football. He's done that a lot, and I think he's progressed and gotten a lot better through the course of camp. So I think that one's going to be a tough call. I'd love to be a fly on the wall when they talk about both of those guys, and when they get that initial, when you get down to that initial 53. But I really think it might come down, Tina, to Saturday in Indy, just who runs the offense better, who moves the football. That might decide it in your final kind of push to catch the coach's eye.
All right, let's talk about the defense now. Dan Campbell has said these last few weeks here how much he loves this D-line. And the front seven overall, he's really confident in them. They have a lot of good depth as well. What do you like most, especially about the interior of the D-line here?
Well, I love the depth, first off. I think Aleem McNeil has looked terrific. I think he is back to 23, 24. Aleem McNeil, post-ACL injury. He's been unblockable at points. And, Tina, I really love the move of Tyleek to the nose. And he's only ever played 3 technique in his entire career. And I talked to him about this a couple weeks ago, and he just said, I just love being so close to the ball. Everything happens a little quicker there. And obviously he's a big body, but he's got some quickness for how big he is. And I think he's been really good. I mean, it's been tough sledding to try to run up the middle on this first team defense, even for this first team offense all of camp. And I think Tyleek Williams has been a big reason why. That combination I really like. They've just got some guys that can do a lot of different things in terms of Lacey and on the edge. This is the deepest edge that they've had, in my opinion, in the 18 years that I've been covering this team. When you talk about TJ Wanham and you talk about Derek Moore, they can run some guys in there that I think are going to be productive. And I just think overall, as a defensive line unit, this is probably the most talented group they've had. It's certainly in Dan Campbell's tenure, and it might even be dating back to some of those early 2010 teams when they had Ndamukong Suh and those guys were there, and they had a pretty good unit, 2014 in particular. But I think this unit, if they stay healthy, has a chance to be right there with those units.
Kelvin Sheppard going into his second season as DC here. I'm curious, what have you observed from him throughout training camp? I imagine more comfortability with him going into year 2 and kind of knowing these players more as well. And even last year dealing with all the injuries kind of could prepare him in a different way because injuries are going to happen throughout a season.
And that's where the depth is important, right? But I would say with Shep, adaptability is probably been a big thing. This was a team that probably played the most. They did play the most base defense in all of football last year. I think we've seen a lot more nickel out here. We've seen them mix in some dime. I think he's just, because he's got a really good front seven, because he's got some depth in certain spots, I think that allows Shep to maybe be a little bit more free in the types of schemes, depending on the matchup and personnel. I think you could see 2-3 different guys in the nickel in a game or week to week just based on matchup, because he's got that kind of depth at some spots. And so, I just think we've seen a lot more versatility among the defense and the defensive scheme. And I think that's just Shep kind of settling in, understanding his personnel, how to utilize them, and what their strengths and weaknesses are.
Lions will have some tough decisions to make
tough
here. And a quick turnaround going from Saturday playing the Colts to roster cut down deadline.
I don't think there'll be much sleep for Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell on Saturday night now.
Tim Twentyman, thanks so much for joining us.
Anytime.